All right, folks, welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. This is really an important broadcast. Stick with us here because you're not going to believe the scams that are happening from right from under your feet, from right from under your nose. I couldn't believe this when I first found out about this home theft, not like someone coming in and jacking your home, taking all the stuff out of your house. I'm talking stealing the title from under you. I didn't even know this was possible, but there's a legal way to do this, right? So this is my guest, John Summer. And before I welcome you on, John Summer is principal at the Summer Group, a private consulting company specializing in public and private corporate meeting as an on-air video and voice talent producer, writer, and general consultant. John is an Emmy and a multi-award-winning anchor. I didn't know that. An investigative reporter with great depth in broadcast and print industry, also serving as regional president of the Society of Professional Journalists and lecturer of the Poitier Institute, Cal Poly State University, California Specialized Training Institute, and other educational institutions. John, his well-earned expertise greatly enhances a corporation's messaging to obtain optimum positive reception from his clients and consumers. So I guess you're working for Home Title Lock now, right? You're helping them out, getting their message across.
Yeah, great. Great to be on your show today. Boy, I tell you what, you read that, but it's not as impressive as your record. So I'm delighted to be with you today, man. You're a hero to me.
I'm surprised I can still formulate a sentence for boxing. but man, this is crazy. This is home. So let's explain this to how could you start this? A Home Title Lock. What is Home Title Lock? What is the company Home Title Lock? What are they? What's the purpose of Home Title Lock? Because I saw the commercial on this on television and I couldn't believe what I was listening to. I can't believe this is actually a legal way to steal people's property, to steal their houses.
So we'll get to Home Title Lock, the company. I'll tell you, first of all, what they do is they monitor your title to your property, whether it's a home or whether it's land or you got an Airbnb someplace or grandma's house for that matter. They will secure your title by just monitoring it and letting you know if there are problems. But what we're talking about here, Nino, is a crime that Home Title Lock helps you avoid. Here's the crime, okay? The FBI originally titled this thing home stealing. That was back maybe 20 years ago when it first became kind of evident that people were doing this stuff. And, Nino, back then, say 20, 25 years ago, what you had to do if you wanted to get title to somebody's property, you'd have to get the proper documents. You'd have to forge a signature to transfer the title. You'd have to get a notary to say, hey, this is this person that is selling this piece of property. Then you go down to the county clerk's office and you hand them the paperwork and they look at it and they say, okay, Nino, that looks fine. Okay, you're good. You're gone.
What about an ID? I mean, don't they need an ID? I mean, I don't understand.
Well, yeah, but I mean, people forged that stuff 20 years ago too. It's a whole different game now with the internet.
This is deed. This is deed fraud.
This is deed fraud, title fraud.
So
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, they fraud, stealing the deed to your house or the title to your house. And then once
you could be, hold on, wait a second. You're living in your home and someone is actively stealing your property while you're there.
Yeah, and you don't even know it. And you know what? It used to be
nothing you could do afterwards. There's no recourse. There's nothing you could do afterwards and say like, hey man, you can't prove that it was stolen.
Well, you got to go through the court system. You know how messy that is.
Oh my God, what a nightmare.
And here's the deal. I mean, it's not just like crafty individuals, bad dudes that are doing this. There are international organizations that specialize in this. So it could be some group out of Nigeria or out of North Korea, and they could target your home and they could take it. You'll never know it. And then here's what they do, okay? Once they get title to your property, they can leverage it they don't want your house, okay? They don't want the building. They want what it's worth. and they can take that value, and goodness knows, you know, the way that real estate has gone these days, a lot of folks, it's their biggest equity. You know, their life savings is in their house. Maybe they paid off the mortgage on it. Okay. So maybe they got a house that's worth 500,000. Well, that's 500,000 worth of equity if the mortgage is paid off. And the bad dudes go in there and they steal the title to the property. Then they can go to a loan company or several loan companies. I mean, I got a guy, he did this.
Wait. This happens if your house is paid. What makes this an easy target? What houses are easy targets? Houses that are paid off?
Any house.
Any house. It doesn't
No,
matter.
no, it doesn't have to be paid off. I mean, if there's equity in the home, even if there isn't, they can pay off the original loan on it and then take out more loans on it. And then they're
Wouldn't
gone.
the mortgage company call you and talk to you and be like, hey, you're getting ready to pay
Hey,
off their...
you know, Nino, if they've got the proper paperwork, they don't care. If everything looks good, it's just like the county clerk. You know, if they've got the proper documents and they all look like they've been signed and notarized and so on, they don't care.
So they're doing this over the internet now. It's fast, it's quick, right? That's how they're doing it,
Yeah.
and just pushing it through.
Yeah, they can. Or, you know, some people could still do it the old school way. They go down to the courthouse and switch over the title. I mean, any way that they can do it. It's just, I mean, it's gotten to be insidious, because you think about grandma sitting there, or anybody for that matter, they're not watching over the title of their property.
Nobody
not
really is. Nobody is. I mean,
nobody is.
So what do they do once they get the house?
Well, they milk it for all it's worth in a number of different ways. The most common way is that they just take out like an equity loan on it, you know, and they're gone.
And so, at what point does the homeowner realize that they are a victim? How do they find out, like, oh, my house has been snagged from under me?
Too late. So normally what happens is they find out when they start getting phone calls or letters saying, hey, you know, you're not up on the payments of this loan. And you look at it and you go, wait a minute, I didn't take out that loan. What the heck's going on here? Well, yeah, you did. You signed it. You did it. No. Okay, now you got to go to court. You got to hire an attorney. You got to go through a judge. This crime has become such a problem now that it's new to most law enforcement. They're still trying to figure out what this is all about. So it's not on their radar right now, but it will be. As I said, I had a great meeting with our local DA last week, and they're setting up a division specializing in just this kind of crime, because they weren't really aware that it was a problem. But you think about it, Nino. Somebody can come into your house, okay, and burglarize it, and maybe you're there, and maybe they'll steal, you know, some jewelry or whatever, and then they're gone, okay? That's a crime that law enforcement knows, okay? So they can deal with that. Maybe you've got a Ring camera on your home, so you can identify who this bad guy is, and then maybe they can find him, and then they prosecute him, and maybe you get your stuff back. But with home title theft or deed theft, these people are invisible. And they can come in, and maybe the burglar got, you know, $20,000 worth of jewelry. The home title theft people get hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of value out of your home. You never know it. They're gone. They've sent this money into some offshore bank account or any number of bank accounts they set up, and you can't find them. You can't find them. You can't, you know, and then you have to go through the whole.
This is happening all over the world?
All over the world.
Is it more prevalent in America?
Yeah, all over the country.
How many millions of people? Thousands? What is it? What is the number?
Well, we're not up in the millions yet, but you know, we're heading up there. I mean, thousands of people for sure. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Thousands of people, and then they just start getting notices and calls from them from a different mortgage company. From who they get calls from? Who
generally that's how they find out.
It's just too late.
It's too late. So maybe you've got an Airbnb, okay, and you're not watching over this thing, and you're renting it out, okay. There's this one guy I interviewed last week. His name is Matthew Cox. He spent 13 years in prison, he was a pioneer, if there is such a word, for home title theft. And he was doing it the old school way, back when you'd go down to the clerk's office and you give them documents with a wet signature and a notary, and they'd look it over and go, okay. So he was doing it back then. Now it's 10 times, 100 times easier to do it. But this guy, Matthew Cox, he said one time he rented somebody's home and he hung out there for a while. He paid his rent. And then he knew the guy that, that owned the home. He knew everything about the property, and he created the documents to transfer the title over to him. And then he took out 3 different loans. He went to 3 different loan companies and took out loans, and he paid his rent for a while, because he said, the longer that you have to be able to kind of stretch this out, the more time you have and the better it is to get away with it. Finally, when he got, enough money out of it, and he sent that money into a bunch of different bank accounts, he just left the house. And the owner of the house that he was running from never found out about it until the checks weren't coming in. And then the letters were coming in from the 3 loan companies that he took the loans out from.
Wow.
What the heck is going on here? Oh, man, It was a mess. And it took him months to unwind that whole thing.
So
yeah,
what makes what makes someone an easy target? Is there such a thing, or is it just anyone's fair game?
I mean, is Graceland, Elvis Presley, is that an easy target?
Elvis Presley's Graceland was. Are you telling me they stole the property? Are you gonna
they almost did. Do you want to hear that story?
With Graceland, Elvis Presley estate. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to hear about that one?
Let's hear
it. They got it before it went through, but it was an amazing story. It was a group out of Nigeria. It was a syndicate, crime syndicate. And they did this, just for fun, because they didn't really think they'd probably get away with the whole process. But here's what they did. So Elvis had a daughter. Her name was Lisa Marie.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Lisa Marie had a daughter, and 𝗬𝗏 𝗬𝗏 was her name, is her name. She's still alive, but Lisa Marie passes away. Okay. So these guys out of Nigeria, they forged the documents saying that Lisa Marie had taken out a loan, millions of dollars, from their so-called loan company, using Graceland, the famous Elvis Presley house, as collateral for the loan. Well, Lisa Marie passes away, and they still, and they say they're sitting there with they haven't been paid back, so they go and they foreclose. Nino, this just happened 2 months ago. I mean, this is recent. Okay.
So
go ahead.
Well, how do they, when they get caught, what are the repercussions? I mean, that's like,
well, they can't catch them, but so they foreclose on Graceland, and the house goes up on the auction block. And this is a national shrine. So everybody's going, what the heck? Including Lisa Marie's daughter, 𝗬𝗏, say, wait a minute. My mom never took out a loan on, using Graceland as collateral. So they start to look and they go, realize, hey, this is not right. And so they stopped the sale a day before it was supposed to go. Well, what happens, is a couple of days later, they start getting contacts from this crime syndicate out of Nigeria saying, ha ha, we almost got away with it. And we were just fooling around. We were just messing with you, but we've gotten away with it with lots and lots of other people, and they never knew about it, So they were bragging about it. I mean, that's how bad.
You gotta have no conscience, zero conscience to do this.
Hey, listen, this guy, Matthew Cox, that I told you about, that spent 13 years in prison, I asked him that question because he took old ladies, people's grandmothers.
That's like serial killer stuff, man. That's like serious.
It's insidious. And he goes, I said, didn't you feel bad? The lady lost her house and everything, and you don't have any kind of an emotional. He says, no. He said, I don't care. He said, I got what I want. They're just nothing. They're nothing.
Psychopaths. They're psychopaths.
Yeah, they are.
See, originally I thought that's a guy I saw on the TV commercial, and I was like, oh man, am I interviewing that guy? Am I gonna get on the podcast with that guy? Because I was gonna ask him, like, where's your conscience?
I'm the good guy.
All right, yeah, because when I saw you, I was like, oh, I'm a little thrown off here. Um, yeah, I was waiting to ask that guy. That's what like I wanted to actually uh kind of format the whole interview over was about him. Was I was gonna set the format on that, like the
Yeah.
psychology of doing this. Like I can't understand why someone would do this to somebody. It makes me sick.
Yeah.
It's you got to really be able to just hurt somebody and not care and just have no empathy. Like
No
I
soul,
no,
no heart.
no. Gosh, it's just
You know,
crazy to believe these people walk, and then
yeah.
so what should my listeners do? It says here that let's say you send an alert, right? The home title lock. If this process begins, how does title lock find out about it? What steps are followed? Do you guys stop it immediately? Like what happens here? How does the minutia work behind all this?
Yeah. So the company is called Home Title Lock, as you just said, LOCK. And they have a website, hometitlelock.com. And by the way, while I'm thinking about it, I think you've got a code, Nino, under your other name, David. I
Right.
think if they go onto the site and they give them the code David, they can try it out for 30 days for free, and they'll actually monitor your title, make sure that right now that it's still in your name.
What does it cost a
They'll
month?
monitor. Go ahead.
What does it cost a month? What is it? What is someone?
It's really, I think it's pennies a day. It's just not expensive. It's like I think it's like $20 a month. I mean, it's small potatoes compared to the potential for loss. Just having peace of mind. But here's how they do it. Okay, so they have what it's called a triple lock protection system, and ironically, that means that they protect it in 3 different ways. And the first way is that they actually just monitor your title 24/7. So they're watching the title the whole time, all day, all night, all week. The second part of this triple lock system is that they will notify you if they see any kind of monkey business, and they will immediately contact you through email and say, hey, wait a minute, something weird is going on here. Is this you? Or is this not you doing this? Okay. So now you're alerted. Then if for some reason, and these things sometimes can happen really fast.
Yeah, I would
If for
imagine
some
so.
reason, yeah, the bad guy manages to get the title into their name and so on, Home Title Lock at hometitlelock.com will work with you to restore the title. They've got a team of experts there. And this is all that they do is restoration.
So they can contact you, and then you'll have to call your mortgage company. You're like, yo, put everything on stop. What are you guys doing?
They're going to take care of all that. So you don't have to hire an attorney. You don't have to go through the court systems. They're going to take care of working with all of the whatever the critical individuals that are involved in this and restore the title for you.
So what information do you have to give Home Title Lock? How long does it take? How long is the process to get this started with Home Title?
You start immediately. But my suggestion would be, because when I did research on there are a couple of other companies, but this company, HometitleLock.com, is the pioneer. These guys started this, and they're the best. But I did my due diligence. I did that's my background, as you read. Investigative reporting, and I was really skeptical, frankly, like you were when we first started talking. But go on and go on the website. There are people.
Well, do you guys also will they also like send a call or a text or like any to alert you, or is it just email?
Yeah, they email you immediately.
But can they also text or call you? What if someone misses an email?
That's something you can discuss with them. Have other ways of being contacted on this.
This sounds like
in fact, just go on the site, talk to a real person. Or just go on the site and look over the stories of people on there that have gone through this painful episode in their lives.
So if they get caught, these criminals, when they get caught, they serve what, life in prison? What kind of jail sentence? You said this guy was serving 13 years.
He did serve 13 years. He's out now.
Oh, great.
He's out now. But yeah, he's been out for a couple of years, and he's reformed. Now he wants to to help prevent this kind of a crime by telling people about it, because nobody knows about it. Nobody thinks that, that your home can be taken from you. It's just not on anybody's radar right now. And it's not on law enforcement's radar, which is what I've been finding out and dealing.
But this isn't a new thing.
It's not a new thing, but it wasn't a huge problem until the internet and AI and everything else started to come to play.
Oh my gosh.
Now it is easy pickings, Nino. I talked to a couple of FBI agents last week. I mentioned I was in Dallas to meet with some folks, 2 retired FBI agents. One guy that worked the ground, he was boots on the ground, just typical old school FBI. And then another guy that actually worked up in higher administration doing cybercrime, which is what this is really all about.
Yeah.
And both of these guys said that this is really becoming now a noteworthy problem. And but law enforcement is just starting to find out just how serious this is. And as a result, the public is only just starting to find out.
This sounds like a nightmare, man. This is like another stress to have. It's just like, man.
Well, it's a stress you don't need to have.
No.
Because again, as I mentioned, with this home title lock company, it really gives you peace of mind because they're watching out for you. You don't have to do it.
So where do people
go? You got a home in the woods, you got open land, they'll take that and leverage it and take out a loan and they're gone.
Man, so I bet they do. They'd probably take commercial real estate. They probably take houses.
Yeah, they can do that too.
Oh,
even stuff that's under development.
Wow, man.
You know these commercials, where people go, "Hey, I'll buy your house for cash."
Yes.
I don't know if they have them where you are.
Yes. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So a title thief can actually take the title to a home, go to one of these quick money lenders, and say, "Hey, give me money for my property." And maybe the property is worth $500,000. They'll offer you $400,000 or $350,000. You don't care.
No, he'll take it's free money.
It's not yours to begin with, so you'll take it.
That's
and then you're done. It's not funny.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, I'm getting on this. I'm getting on this like now. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess around with this. So where do I could say HomeTitleLock.com or what is it?
Home, HOME, title, TITLE, lock, LOCK, all one word, HomeTitleLock.com. And put on there David, the code David, and you can try it out, do your own due diligence, try it out for 30 days, see if it works for you.
Okay, and do I talk to you about this right after the interview here, the podcaster, because I want to get on it?
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Okay. All right, folks, you know what to do. Start now. Don't lose your house. Don't lose any of your property. HomeTitleLock.com. I'll put it down in the description box below. Code David. Code David. All right, folks. I got to tell you, this just blows me away. John Summer, everybody. John Summer, thank you, John. Stay right there. I want to talk to you real quick.
Thanks.